This realm is called Asia. Assiah. Asia. Now, that's no coincidence that everybody on planet Earth is named after Asia. You have us, whether you're in the Nation of Islam, in the Moorish Scientific of America, or either in the Nation of Gods of Earth, we say that we Asiatic. Mm-hmm. If you go to where the Europeans claim to have come from, the Caucasus Mountains, they call themselves the what?
Caucasian.
Asian. Caucasian. You go to the Orient, whether it's Japan, China, whatever, the Orientals refer to themselves as what? Asian. So this is Asia, and the realm of Asia is Malkuth, the kingdom. All right. So the reason why they say that is because this is the realm of the making. This is where you come at in order to make things with this, right? Because this is God. The mind is God. All right. Now we done gave the mind various names. All right. We call the mind Yahweh, Jehovah. All right. We call it God. Brahma, Vishnu, Krishna. But it's all talking about aspects of the mind. And the mind has 7 levels of consciousness. Most people only know about me, myself, and I consciousness, which is called interpersonal consciousness. That's the lowest. Then after that, you have intrapersonal consciousness. Then you have life consciousness, subconsciousness, superconsciousness, magnetic consciousness, and infinite consciousness. That is the highest level, is infinite consciousness. Your breath is the mind in action. So that means that your breath and the mind is the same. It's simultaneously works the same. For you to have a mind, all right, in this fleshly body, which works through the brain, then you must breathe. Without the breath, the mind leaves, i.e. the soul. All right? They have measured the soul. All right? They have actually done measurement of the soul. And the soul weighs 21 grams upon leaving the physical body. What is the soul? The electrons of your body is the soul. When the last breath is exhaled, the transmission of electrons leaves the physical body. The electrons are on your skin. It is part of your melanin. The electrons is part of your melanin. Now, your melanin is enhanced by way of the sun, right? Now, when we look at the sun, all right, the sun is allegedly 93 million miles away. Flat Earth to say is 3,000. I ain't going to debate. I ain't been there. All right? I don't care how far it is personally. I know that it shines. All right? That's what I do know. And I know I can feel the warmth from the sun. Right? That's what I do know. Well, what happens is that the sun has all 7, all right, aspects of the visible spectrum. We call it in chemistry Roy G. Biv, right? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. All right? So these 7 colors are the exact same colors that in the book of Genesis, after the flood, Noah had a covenant with God, which was what? A rainbow. So the rainbow actually is those colors, which actually symbolizes the 7 major prophets in the Bible. All right? Adam was made from the ground, hence the genitals. All right? And it says that Adam means red. Well, hold up. Your semen is a concentration, and your vaginal fluids are a concentration of your blood. In fact, according to Ayurveda, which is the Indian medical science, they say that it takes 40 to 80 drops of blood to make just one drop of semen. That's the concentration. So that means that the vaginal fluids and also the semen is nothing but concentrated blood, hence symbolic to Adam. All right? Because Adam was made from the dust of the ground in the mist of the air. Hence, clay is talking about that. So hence, that symbolizes the lower or aspect of Adam, which symbolizes that which continuously replenish. Remember, Adam and Eve was put on earth to replenish. And re means to do again, right? So that means maybe it was done before, but it's definitely was meaning to repopulate or reproduce over and over and over again. So Adam symbolizes that. Next, you have Noah. It rained 40 days and 40 nights. Remember? And so Noah symbolizes the water element. So Adam symbolizes the earth element. Noah symbolizes the water element. Abraham came from the land of Ur within Sumerian or Mesopotamian means fire. Hence the solar plexus. So Abraham symbolizes the solar plexus. Then David, Dawid, or Daoud, what do you say, Hebrew or Arabic? His name means beloved. So what do you love with? Your heart. So he symbolizes the heart chakra, but it also symbolizes the element of air. Then you have Moses. Moses said, "Let my people go." Right? All right now. So Moses symbolizes the sound or ether, which symbolizes the throat chakra. Because remember, Moses at first was like, "Look, God, I can't speak like my brother, yo." Yo, he speak real eloquent. You know, I think I probably need to send him. The next thing, Moses up there talking about, "Pharaoh, I told you, bam! Let my staff turn into a snake, eat up both of yours." Well, that's symbolic anyway, because that's Kundalini and the two sacral nerves, which we call the Ida and the Pingala, which is known as the snakes of Christ. Right? I'll get to that in a minute. So, next, Jesus. He's known as the light of the world. He's the light of the world. And in Matthew, the 6th chapter, the 22nd verse, Jesus said something very special. He said, when your eye is single, your whole body will be filled with light. That's interesting. When your eye is single, hold up. I'm working with a cyclops. Because I thought that was in Greek mythology. That he had one eye, right? But Jesus just said, when your eye is single. Hold up, he didn't say eyes, he said I. E-Y-E. Eye is single, your whole body will be filled with light. So Jesus symbolizes the light of the world, hence the pineal gland. All right? Via the pituitary gland, which brings forth and shoots forth that white light. All right, so the pituitary gland shoots forth that white light onto the pineal gland in order to awaken it, right? Then you have Muhammad, because Jesus said in the book of John that there's going to be one who comes after me, who's a comforter, and who is the spirit of truth. Wow, that's deep. Because Muslims say, well, that was Muhammad. You know, I said, oh, word. Well, remember, you do say that he's the last seal of the prophets. But how many seals are there according to the book of Revelations? There's 7 seals. So he's the last seal. Oh, he's the crown chakra. The 7 seals. Now that you know that all the 7 major prophets are symbolic to your endocrine gland system called your chakra system, now how you work your magic with them. But remember, even the Quran tells you that even Muhammad, when he went up on the night of power, right? The night of power, also, you get it? He's on an animal called the Baruch. And in Arabic, the word Baruch means white lightning. Uh-oh, hold on. Lightning. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It says Kundalini because it's known as the serpentine fire. And then it's also, Christians say, it feels like fire shut up in my bones. Hold on, what feels like fire shut up in your bones, yo? Oh, you don't know the name of it, you just said Holy Spirit. But that's good because that's the same thing. Kundalini is Holy Spirit. You don't believe me? Go to any so-called non-denominational church, Pentecostal Holiness Church, and you will see on every Sunday they catch the Spirit. Right? They'll tell you, they start speaking in tongues. You know, they go into all of it. All right? So, this is the real science. It's talking about your human anatomy, not to get caught up into those fictional characters that is inside of the Bible or the Quran or the Bhagavad Gita or the Hispanishad or any of the other texts or books. All of this is always going back to the physical body. What the mystics did, the ancient Kemites, the Temerians, what they did was this. They took these various sciences and encoded it through story form so that as you read the story as a child, you would think as a child. But as you begin to start coming into adulthood, you begin to start changing your thoughts of the exact same story. Because now, the more that you read it, the more you come into consciousness of what it really means. Even though, because every time you go back and read the Bible or the Quran or any other book, every time you reread it, there's always something that you spot that you didn't think about before. I said, hold up, I missed this the first time. Wow. And the keys start coming together. So this is what the ancients, the way that they wrote the stories was based on that. Not for you to get caught into the fictional characters. How do you know they're fictional? Because the Bible told me so. You know, that's every good Sunday. Because the Bible tells me so. So, go to Galatians, the 4th chapter, the 22nd through the 26th verse. What does it say? It says, Abraham had 2 wives. One was of a bondmaid, and the other was of a free woman. The children that was born from the bondmaid, which is somebody to Ishmael, right? The so-called Arabs. And then, of course, who was born to the free woman, which is Sarah. Who was born to her? Isaac. Exactly. Now, think about it. Those are the, now, if I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn according to the story that the firstborn supposed to have had the birthright. Well, in this story, the second born had the birthright. The firstborn was Ishmael. But because Sarah got jealous of Hagar, they put up, him and her got pushed off into the desert somewhere, according to the story. But according to the story also, Hagar was originally an Egyptian. All right? So here's Abraham coming from out the land of Chaldea, of city of Ur, coming into Egypt and marrying one of the Egyptians, Temerians, Kemites, and had the son, Ishmael. All right? Now, all of this is symbolic because in the story, Galatians break it down that this is an allegory. And it says the word allegory. Now, I go to my good old Webster dictionary, and Webster says that stories created based on fictional characters that has a deeper meaning or spiritual level. Wow, that's the meaning of allegory. And the Bible told me that the story of Abraham was an allegory. Now, that's amazing because that means Jews, Hebrew Israelites, or Hebrews, Israelites, Jewish, those that converted after 70 AD when Jerusalem had burned down, and then Christians and Muslims all say that Abraham is the father of their tradition. But Abraham didn't exist according to the Bible. It was an allegory. So that means that somebody has been doing some, put it this way. They have got you caught up into a story, right? In which that has a deeper meaning or spiritual level that you did not know, because they always had you looking at it from a literal, historical way. They never take it back to the physical body. But this is really what it's talking about. So, Abraham changed his name to Abraham from Abram. But when you go to the Hindu text, you have Brahma, whose name was Brahmin. They go on to Brahmin. Abram, Brahma, Abraham, Brahman. Abraham's wife name was Sarai, and she changed her name from Sarai to Sarah. Brahma's wife name is Saraswati, which is spelled Sarai. Sarai, which is, and then you put Swati, Swati. Same as Abraham's wife, who was called Sarai, Sarai. Then they took the I off and put H to become Sarah. Oh, wow, we're looking at the same story. However, in this story over here, they still kept the esoteric principles. This one over here got literalized based on the Catholic Church rendition and interpretation of it, which got passed on into the Protestant movement. Thanks to John Calvin and Jane Calvin, as well as also Martin Luther, who was the one who nailed the 78 theses on the Wittenberg Church. They love talking about that part because of how disgruntled he was because of the Catholic Church and them selling relics. Right? Oh, here goes the vow of tears of Jesus.
Oh.
$10. Oh, Jesus walked on these bricks. $20. This is what the Catholic Church was doing. This is what they was doing. So Martin Luther said, after that, let me go and put up my disgruntled, I was disgruntled and put this on the Wittenberg Church of England, Catholic Church, and show them that I can, be upset. Now, he didn't have no esoteric knowledge. So he put the people back in the same damn condition that the Catholic Church had them in. Now, where did the Catholic Church get their information from? Well, that comes from the Ptolemy. All right, Ptolemy. You get the book, Historical Origin of Christianity by Professor Walter Williams. He speaks about an individual by the name of Sylvester, who was bribed by Ptolemy. Ptolemy was the individual who was the brother to Alexander the so-called Great. They was both the sons of Philip of Macedonia. All right, they was Persians. And what happened is that they came into the Coptic. All right, now the Coptics already had Christianity, but they didn't call it Christianity. All right, they called it Kernes Ani. Kernes Ani became Christianity, but it came from the ancient Egyptian, or who we know the Ethiopians were the individuals who were the priests. They was also called the Moors. All right, the priests were the Moors, who came from out of Meroe, M-E-R-O-E, Meroe, which was the city or the capital at that time of Ethiopia, right? And then even further back, it was called the Meru people, M-E-R-U. So M-E-R-U became M-A-U-R, and guess what? I was watching a video of Dr. Ben, and he said the exact same thing. And I was like, yo. And this video was 25 years ago. So we coming to the same conclusions that the priesthood of the ancient Egyptians, or what's called the ancient mystery school, was ran by the Ethiopians, who we call the Cushites, who is also called the Meru or Moro people, which becomes the word Moors. When you go to Stolen Legacy by George D. James on page 36, between 32 and 36, I think 37, in between those 5 pages, he makes mention of the fact that the ancient mystery school was carried into Europe by the Moors, and that they preserved the ancient mystery school system. So that means that the Europeans got civilized by a portion of the information coming from the Moors. Now, it was a 9-degree system in ancient Kemet. However, they were only given 3 degrees. We want the 3 degrees. Y'all ain't never see Sanford Son? Yeah. We want the 3rd degree. Exactly. Right? Yeah, that was symbolic. Right? The 3 degrees or the 3rd degrees is talking about Master Mason, but of course you have to have the inter-apprentice, fellow craftsman, and Master Mason, which is called the Blue Lodge. This is the information that we gave them to civilize themselves. It was during the Dark Age. So notice that when we went in during the Dark Age, then all of a sudden you had the Age of Enlightenment. You had the Renaissance movement. All of that came because we taught them these sciences, because we had to civilize them. All right? It wasn't the first time they got civilized. They kept falling into that situation over and over again. According to the Nation of Gods of the Earth, the Nation of Islam, they speak of Musa or Moses, who went into the Caucasus Mountains to go civilize them. He took with him pigs so that the pigs could eat the carcasses, the dead carcasses, Asians, the carcasses of the Asians, right? Because you're going to find out that actually the Europeans is 2/3 Asian and 1/3 African. He's more related to the Asians/Orientals than he is to us. This is why we clash so damn much, right? Because he's more closer to the Orientals. And matter of fact, we have an individual by the name of Dr. Richard King, MD, alayhi salam upon him. He said that 5 to 15% Africans have calcified pineal glands. 15 to 25% Asians have calcified pineal gland, but 60 to 80% Europeans have calcified pineal gland. That's also another reason for the clash. And of course, you go to Frances Weldon, when she broke down within the ISIS papers, where she made mention that the reason why we have this clash is because the Europeans fear genetic annihilation. So she broke it all down for us, right? And this is what's going on now. This is why we have this fool in office right now. Y'all know who the fool is? It's the last Trump. The last Trump. All right. Remember, the Bible told you that there's going to be a last trumpet blown. But this is the last trump. This is the last trumpet. All right. But anyway, this is why he's in there, to get them to wake up as far as say, look, we need to do something because they get ready to overcome. This is the same thing that Jesus had a problem with when he was born. The same thing that Moses had a problem with when he was born. Remember? With Jesus, it was Herod, right? And Herod was like, what? Messiah coming? Oh, what are we going to have to do? Well, kill all the daggone children under the age of 2. Get them all. Well, hold on. That's New Testament. The Old Testament told you the same story. The Pharaoh, who they claim is Ramesses III, right? With Moses, we know that wasn't. It was Moses III, actually, who Moses' story is actually based on. Along with the king out of Akkadian, or who was known as Syrian, the king of Syria, who was known as Sargon I. This is really where we get these stories from. All right, which all those stories go back to ancient Kemet. All right, and the ancient Kemites or Temerians had the story about the boat of Ra. right? The boat of Ra, in which that is talking about the same thing as Moses being sealed in a basket with slime being sent down the river. That story Sargon used from out of ancient Kemet. He used when he became king of Assyria, and he used it in the exact same story. In the Akkadian mythology, it says he was sealed in a basket with slime and sent down the river. And was found by a royal family. The exact same story. And guess what? It was 1,000 years before the Moses story. 1,000 years before the Moses story. You don't believe me? Go get the book by study Joseph Campbell, Mythology. In another book called The Bible Myths by T. W. Downes, Doanes, Downes. Get that book, all right? So this is what we're talking about, that these are esoteric principles here that we're working with. We get to Jesus, all right? In which that they encoded this thing so very well till we just bypassed it and missed it when it's in your very breath. And they kept giving you the clues over and over again in the Bible. It says, hold up, Jesus is the Word. Not only is the Word is God. Not only is the Word God, but the Word came flesh. Hold up, hold up. So and then remember, in the beginning, Jesus was with God. All the good Christians believe that, right? Jesus was with God in the beginning. You're right, he was. And he was. Because God breathed into the nostrils of Adam the breath of life, and man became a living soul. What is that breath of life? What is the word? Breath of life, word. You come to find out that that's the same thing. So Christians are right. Jesus was with God in the beginning. Now explain. He was there. He was with the angels in heaven. That's all I know. All right, well, let's break it down a little bit further. What we find out is that Jesus' name in Arabic is Isa, but his name in Hebrew is Yeshua. The English transliteration would be Joshua. All right, so we got plenty of children running around here. Name what? Joshua. Exactly. That's why I'm making mention of it. So Joshua is Yeshua. Sure. In between Yah, Wah. Now hold on, Yahweh or Yahweh is the Old Testament deity. So in the New Testament, they made a new God. Yahshua. Shu in between the Yah and the Wah. Now, Yah symbolizes agreeable, positive. Wah symbolizes negative, disagreeable, magnetic. All right, so Yah symbolizes electrical or electric, and Wah symbolizes negativity / magnetic. So when Yahweh comes together, that is come out electromagnetic energy. However, they put Shu in the center. Now hold up, how many times have you seen a plug? Sometimes you see a two-prong plug, but in order to neutralize, to do what? To neutralize, they added what? Third prong to. Now hold up, y'all never seen it? Yeah. Come on now, hook a brother up. Let's see here. All right. So normally, it still works, right? Mm-hmm. Yahweh still works. With two, right? Yahweh. However, you put the third one here, which symbolizes Shu. What happens? This is the grounding, right? The Word made flesh. Shu, S-H-U. The Word made flesh. Hold on. Let's go a little bit deeper. In ancient Kemet, Sumerian traditions, mythology said that the first begotten son of Atum was Shu, S-H-U. Now that's the same story that we get in the Bible. That God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that who shall believe in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. My God. John 3:16. Every good Christian knows that verse. If you don't, you're a heathen. You heathens up in here. What you doing? You want to know that? What's wrong with you? You heathens. Right, so that came right off the walls of ancient Kemet. Because the first begotten and the only begotten son of God, who was called Atum, A-T-U-M, was Shu, S-H-U. S-H-U, Shu. Now that we know who Shu is, how did he find his way to become the Messiah in the New Testament? Well, if you go back and remember, you had Newt that was arched over Geb on the walls. Who's ever seen that picture? Huh? Hold up, I don't know.
We've seen
I don't know. Man, I got it up in here somewhere. I might get it up in one of the books because I got to make sure everybody's on the same. Everybody's on the same understanding here.
Yeah.
I got the same. Oh, somebody got it? Oh, okay. All right, don't worry, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna make sure everybody got this. All right. So what happens is that in the first scene you see Newt over top of Geb, and Geb's phallus is sticking up like this. All right. In the next scene, the phallus is gone, and Shu is standing there like this. Now hold on. According to the story, ancient mythology of Temeri, the Egyptian says that Shu is the personification of air. Yeah, there it is. That's what I'm talking about. All right. You said I can make it larger? No, I can't. All right. So, I'll click it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, let's turn it sideways then. There we go. Oh, what keep trying to save it? There we go. That is Newt with Shu in the middle and Geb at the bottom. That's the second scene. For those that have gone to Kemet, Africa, Egypt, as they call it now, the first scene is just simply there is no Shu involved, just like the Old Testament. There is no Shu, right? Unless you're talking about Joshua, who took over for Moses and led the people into the land of milk and honey, the land of Canaan. That's who Joshua, right? So even in the Old Testament, they began to start giving you a clue of who Yahshua is through Joshua, but they didn't fulfill it until the New Testament. Okay? This is all code words. What's the sound you make when you sneeze? Did anybody have sneezing class to look over baby? How y'all make the same sound? I mean, think about it. Because that's the word that made this flesh. You get it? Once again, is the word that made this flesh. And it's encoded. The ancient Egyptian Kemites knew what they was doing so that you would never forget that you have Jesus with you all the time. So when Mama is trying to get you to understand the science of Jesus, she's doing it from her rendition of what she heard in church. And they don't have the full story or understanding of what we're talking about here today, but they on the right track. All right, so you ain't got to beat them in the head too much. But they thinking that it's a man from 2,000 years ago, European, Albion, coming out the sky on a white horse with thousands of angels. They're going to come down to rescue them or either resurrect them from out the grave 3 days, whatever the case is. That's their belief system. All right, that's the stuff right there that's metaphysical too. That's esoteric. But guess what? Jesus coming out the clouds It's talking about your brain. You have gray matter and white matter. Uh-oh, gray clouds, white clouds. All right? And the area that they're talking about is called the hippocampus area in the brain. The word hippocampus, guess what that means? White horse. You got the white horse. Who remember that? The white horse. Y'all remember that? That's okay. Y'all know that.
Pegasus.
What about the Greek Pegasus? You remember that? All right, I'm about to say, I know we were going to talk about Greek mythology. All right, so the white horse that has the wings that flies is Pegasus. Jesus is coming out the sky on the same white horse in the book of Revelations, on his flying white horse coming down to save everybody. The same white horse now. This white horse ain't no joke. And then Muhammad rode into the seven heavens on the same white horse called a Baruch. On the night of power, shekel. Because guess what? The word shekel within the Metru Neter means power. Shekel. S-E-K-H-E-M. Shekel. The female aspect is Sekhmet. And Ra sent Sekhmet to destroy the earth. However, in the process, she ended up getting drunk. Just like Noah. The same story. The same story told. Hold up. How is this possible? That God sent the flood to destroy all and everybody, but he saved Noah and his family, and then Noah ends up getting drunk. Same story told over again. You see, it's just like if I whispered into Tiana's ear, and then she whispered to this brother ear, that brother ear, then it went around the whole. By the time we get back over here, back to me, it'd probably be a little bit of difference.
Telephone.
A little bit of difference, and that's just us. We talk about countries, nations, thousands of miles apart, with the same information, but just a little twist to it. Everybody understand what's going on? So, metaphysics and esoteric teachings, however, decodes all of these mysteries no matter what language that, and no matter what country that is in. This is the science behind the power of metaphysics and esoteric teachings. Because now you can decode it no matter where the story comes from. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the same story over here. See, this is what's called mythology. All mythology has a metaphysical meaning, esoteric underlying science behind it. Okay? So, your very breath, Yahshua, the sneeze, symbolize the sound in which that holds the physical body anatomy together, based on two principles, centrifugal and centrifugal force. Centrifugal and centrifugal force. In high school, you taught centrifugal and centrifugal force means push and pull. Push and pull. They changed the pulling joint to gravity. They say, oh, no, that's gravity. No, that's centrifugal force. There is no such thing as gravity. Because originally you told me when I was in, not elementary, it was in junior high school, when I started taking real science classes, that you had two forces, centrifugal and centrifugal force. So that push and pull symbolizes the same way that you inhale and exhale. That is centrifugal and centrifugal force. The inhale and exhale. That's the breath of life. Hence the reason why he said, yeah, sure. And then someone comes behind and say, bless you. Go tight. Barak to Allah. Or Alhamdulillah. They come behind because at that instant, your heart stops when you sneeze. This is a proven fact, medical fact. You sneeze real hard, your heart stops it. You finish. And what the heart beating? The heart itself is beating off of centrifugal and centrifugal force. Think about it. Dum dum, dum dum, dum dum, dum dum. Yeah, push and pull. Dum dum. Push and pull. So your whole body is based on centrifugal centrifugal force, which is Yahweh. And come to find out that if I took a print of your genes, of your genetics, this is what they're not telling you when you take these DNA tests. If I took a print of your genes, it will actually write a code, which is the name Yahweh, or the tetragrammaton, with 4 letters, which makes up Yahweh, Jehovah. Your DNA shows this. It shows this. That is its print. So when they say that a dollar broth is in the Gnostic text, they speak about dollar broth, and they say a dollar broth is Yahweh. They talking about your genes. Hence, the word from gene is genie. Oh, in Arabic, that would be gens. You get it? It's only you. So you can take your genes and be a genius, or be demonic and be a jinn. Your whatever your mission is. You see? But this is your genes. They know this. What are the 4 basic amino acids? The building blocks of life.
Adenine,
guanine, cytosine,
and thymine.
These are the 4 amino acids that builds your physical body. These same 4 amino acids is Yah, He, Ba, He. The 4 tetragrammatons in which that we call Yahweh today. It's your genes. It's your amino acids. What formed you into existence. And Shu, which is the breath, is what holds it all together. Hence, Yah-Shu-Wah. The word made flesh. Right here and right now. I'm looking at it. So, to say all this is to get into the science of the Syrians and the Anunnakians, because the word Anu means on high. Right? In the Enuma Elish, which is the Sumerian, Mesopotamian books, they speak of Anu. Anu means on high, which we call within Christianity the Most High God.
Ask you a question because I missed a lot of information. Where can I go on the internet or wherever it is to get all the information you said?
Oh, it's being recorded too, God.
Yeah, but we also recording it and plus in my book. We got you. We ain't gonna forget nobody. Leave no child behind. Leave no child behind. All right, so where was I at, y'all? There we go. So, Anu means on high, or as Christians say, the Most High God. And then Naki means serpent. What? Serpent. That's what Naki means. N-A-K-I, Naki means serpent. It's the same word that we find as Naga. N-A-G-A. N-A-K-I is N-A-G-A, which became N-I-G-G-E-R, which is in Hebrew. Jesus was called the carpenter. And guess what in Hebrew the word is? N-A-G-G-E-R. Naga means carpenter. It means builder. That's why you was called the niggas. Was because you was the master builders of civilization. This is why they claim that they came into Africa and found you on the Niger River. Oh, Niger. N-I-G-E-R. Oh, right down from Niger is N-I-G-E-R-I-A. Uh-oh. The nigger and the naga of Africa. The continent. Named after the same word that we got these older folks out here saying, well, you shouldn't be calling yourself that because that is wrong. That you should not be saying that word. You know, if you know how ancient that word was, you would never say that again. There's a book called The Divine Origin of the Name Nigga by Sister Shabaka. And she wrote this book the same around like a few years right after I started teaching this information. All right, y'all might see me with Brother Bobby Hennett. Me and him did a lecture together up at LIU and Long Island University up in Brooklyn in New York. And I went over a whole list of every country that had this word Naga inside their dialect, inside their language. This is a very ancient word. And guess what? You have the individual by the name of Geb, G-E-B, and Geb is called the goose that laid the golden egg. But guess what Geb's name is? N-A-G-G-E-R. The same name that Jesus is within Hebrew as him being a carpenter is the exact same name as Geb within ancient Egyptian mythology. That's deep, because we find out that Geb is nothing but the Hebrew deity or angel called Gabriel. And Gabriel is supposed to be the father of Jesus, because in the Bible it says that Gabriel came to Mary and impregnated her, and she conceived, and it was Jesus that came forth. Hence the reason why he was a carpenter. And guess what? Geb's other name, G-E-B, is S-E-B, Seb. And guess what? What was Mary's husband name? Joseph, J-O-S-E-P-H, but the S-E-P-H is actually S-E-B. So Gabriel and Joseph actually was one and the same, and that's why Joseph didn't mind after all. And still taught Jesus to be the carpenter, because he himself was what? The carpenter. This is what the Bible is saying. I'm sorry, we can take this information and show you directly where it comes from in the chain, coming from out of ancient Egypt, ancient kingdom. All right, get the books, Ancient Light of the World by Gerald Massey, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Get the book, Historical Jesus and the Mythological Christ by Gerald Massey. He breaks this stuff down. All right? So this is the real science. So Anunnaki talking about the serpent on high. Now that's talking about Kundalini. And when it comes up through the 7 chakras or the 7 churches, because the word church and chakra is one and the same. Let's check this out. Church, C-H-U-R-C-H-E-S, churches. Chakras, C-H-A-K-R-A-S. Well, hold up, the K makes a what sound? That's what they told you in school. So the K makes the same exact sound as C-H. Take the vowels out of what you have. The same consonants. And the word consonant stems from the root word constant. And word constant means that which remains the same. So what changes the frequencies of the words or the vowels? That's why it's vowel. A vowel is what? An oath. Something that's sacred. That's what a vowel is, right? Because V-O-W is a vowel, right? When you get married, what you just did, you took your what? Your vow, your wedding vow. The vow. In the Lord, in the name of Jesus. Here we go. We're going to marry the couple right here today. That's right. You're going to take their holy matrimony. Is going to be their vows to one another. You got your vows ready? All right, come on. All right, so, right? So then El is Hebrew, right? Which means what? God, or force, or power. So now you put vowel and El together, what you have?
I will.
The sacred power, or the oath force, or guide force, or as you say, guide what? Vowel, God, oath. That's why they always want you to put your hand on that Bible. You go to court, what they trying to do? Oh yes, you ready to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? And then what? You got to put your what? Right. You got to put your hand on it, and then you got to testify. Testify. Just like the Old Testament, the New Testament, you got to testify. Oh, I forgot. In the old days, then you had to put your hands here because the Testament was talking about your testes. You had to promise on your family Jews, your genetic line, your tree of life, that you were telling the truth. Otherwise, you curse yourself. This is why they took cursive out of school. Because they knew that cursive originally used to come from the word curse. This is why they don't use it. And once the more started realizing that and we started saying it, all of a sudden, it was taken out of school. No, you're not teaching the children no more. Somebody done figure this out. But it wasn't before the more started talking about, you know, how the word cursive and curse is derived from the same. So we know that there's such thing as spells, right? Right, R-I-T-E, right? You have spells, rights, vowels, right? Oaths. All these things is talking about the same thing, right? Same thing. So we understand that this goes back to the power of the words. So in order to activate each of the chakras so that they are able to transmit properly so that you can become Anunnaki and Anunnaki again. In other words, the serpent on high, the Kundalini, because remember, on the tiaras and the crowns of the ancient pharaohs and pharaohs, or emperors and empresses, or the Nagas and Nagus, they always had the serpent right here. Bam, there it is. Matter of fact, there it is. The serpent right there. And then it's on a sun disk, symbolized to the fact that you must have your halo or your sun disk illuminated, because the serpent will take you there. Right? I'll take you there. All right. So that's what we're talking about. So the Anunnaki is talking about when you raise Kundalini through the Sushumna after the activation of the Ida and the Pingala. And then it can come up through the 7 chakras, the 7 churches, and those 7 seals, and open those 7 seals, which the book of Revelations is telling us about. That's what you want, is the opening of those 7 seals. So there's certain sounds that can help you get there. All right? The sounds are the 7 vowels. I, E, A, O, U, Y. Those sounds activate each of your endocrine glands, i.e. your chakras, and open them like a blossom lotus. Like a blossom lotus. And your crown chakra is 1,000 times more powerful than all of the other 6 chakras. Okay? 2 petals here, 4 petals here, 8 petals here, 12 petals here, 16, 96, and then 1,000. When you add that, when you add the 96 on down to the 2, that's 144. And then you times the 1,000, which symbolizes the crown chakra, the 1,000 petals. 144 times 1,000 is what? 144,000. There you go. You get this? See, this is real. This is the real science. See, I'm taking you from out the fairy tales and giving it right back to you and showing you how your body is all that it is. Because meaning you can illuminate yourself right here and right now and become the Anunnaki. All right? See, we fell into the 7 states of consciousness. We fell. That's the fall of man. All right? I explained to you. So remember, we had infinite consciousness here, and you fell to magnetic consciousness. You fell into super consciousness. You fell into subconsciousness. You fell into life consciousness. You fell into intrapersonal consciousness, and then you fell into interpersonal consciousness. So when your Kundalini is resonating at the genitals, how we know? Because the only thing the brother or sister can think about is sex. And that's based on me, myself, and I. You see? So that's where you already know the individual when if they're talking constantly about it, that's what you know that they want. It's just that simple. However, if you get somebody who's talking that supreme wisdom of enlightenment, then you know that they resonate in here at the magnetic and at the infinite conscious level. Your breath can tap you into either one of these levels based on the way you breathe. Because remember, the breath is the mind in action. Guess what? Interpersonal consciousness, 18 breaths a minute. The average person breathes 18 breaths a minute. That is the beast breath. 6 + 6 + 6, 666. Symbolic to the beast breath. Entirely too fast. Hyperventilate yourself. That's the beast breath. And that's a person who you always see who breathe like that. That's 18 breaths a minute. You already know, don't F with them. They're breathing entirely too fast for you. You already know the level that they're on. You will not go into business with them. Sorry. All right? They'll sex your woman and plus take your damn money. Okay. Beast breath. No. You go to 9 breaths, and then you at least here at intrapersonal consciousness. That's when you begin to start saying, oh, family, friends, associates. At least you're at that level. Then 7.5 breaths a minute, you come here to the solar plexus, which is symbolic now to what's called life consciousness. This is when you give a damn about the earth and animals and things like that, right? Now, you're still in the 4 lower devils now. You ain't get out of that yet. Because the teaching within the Nation of Islam and within the Nation of Gods and Earth speaks in the justice lesson. Why must Muhammad murder the devil? What is the duty of each Muslim in regards to the 4 devils? This is the 4 devils. Right? So at the heart, you go to 6 breaths a minute, right? To resonate the heart. This is what you call not unconditional love, this is called conditional love. All right? So this is what you reach at this level. Right? Now at 7.5 and 6 breaths a minute, you begin to start going into what is called you can get what's called photographic memory. All right? You can have photographic memory at that breath level. When you read a book, you normally go into 9 breaths to 7.5 breaths automatically. Because reading the book is real soothing. So actually, and you're taking in the words and everything that is going on. So you automatically go into a lower breath. Then at the throat chakra, you go into, all right, now this is self-consciousness at this level. Then you go into what's called super consciousness, which is at the throat chakra. Super consciousness. Right? Then at the third eye, you go into what is known as magnetic consciousness. Then at the crown, you go into infinite consciousness. Now, the breaths for each one, 18, 9, 7.5, 6, all right? 4.5, 3, 1. When you breathe 1 breath a minute, which is 30 seconds in, 30 seconds out. Oh, that's gonna be kind of hard. You don't want to start day first. You might want to try 3 breaths a minute and start there. Because that is at least breathing in for a count of 10, breathing out for 10, in for 10, out for 10, in for 10, out for 10. That's 3 breaths a minute. Right? 1 breath is inhale, exhale. That's 1 breath. Inhale, exhale. That's 1. So see, it's 2 principles, but it's 1. This is what they call gravity. But it's based on 2 principles, centrifugal and centrifugal force. So that means that if there's a pulling, it means it also is a what? Pushing. See, they just want you to think that, oh no, everything just falls down. You can't, no. There's UFOs, as we know, that has what? Anti-gravity capabilities. Okay? So we already know that's nonsense that they're telling us. Right? 100 Black refer to them as the motherships. Right? So we already know that. Now, that is what is going to happen once you reach one level of one breath per minute consciousness. Right? Infinite consciousness, that is what happens. Your pineal gland is fully activated. In fact, your whole brain is fully activated at that level. And guess what? That is the star Sirius, or symbolic to the star constellation Sirius. Remember on the tree, you remember you did this old Christmas thing. Don't act like you just brand new. You remember that how you did the tree? You took the tree, you cut the tree down, and you got the artificial one from out the store, Walmart, and you put it in your house. You put the lights around it, symbolic to the nose or nadis, which is also symbolic to your chakras. All right. Then you put the star at the top. Bam. All right. You had the star at the top, and the star symbolized the activation of the pineal gland. The star is Sirius. Remember, the three wise men found Jesus by the star in the sky. The brightest star in the sky is Sirius, Sirius A. You have Ziggy Tolo, Polo Tolo, and Emiya. Right? Sirius A, Sirius B, Sirius C. Sirius C is right here in the sky right now, near our sun. All right, Dr. David Blair told us this, and this is happening right now. There's also another object there called Kachina, which is reddish. So we have three suns right now in the sky. And Nibiru, which they refer to, remember now, this is, once again, mythology. They talk about Nibiru, which is the planet of crossing from the mythology of the Sumerians or Mesopotamian people, the Babylonians, of course, which is you and I. All right. In that information, we speak of the planet returning. It's called the planet of crossing. That is talking about Sirius C. And Sirius C is here right now. This is why they have the chemtrails up in the sky. They've been having them there ever since 1995, 96, right before the Olympics. I was living here in Atlanta at that time period. I was living here in Atlanta from 94 to 99. For 5 years, we was here, flesh. We was right here in Atlanta. Me and Brother Bobby Hemming was rolling around, going to all the bookstores, and you might hear him talk about how he was taking some books. I might have been an accomplice to some of that. And I ain't gonna talk about all that. But anyway, what happened was. All right, so yeah, Bobby had me out here bogarting books, but anyway, that's another story. But anyway, what happened was that Nibiru is actually an ancient Egyptian word, and it comes from Neb Heru. Neb means golden. Heru means light. So Neb Heru means the golden light. Right? That's what Nebiru means, the golden light within the ancient Metronetia. Right? Now, that's amazing because when you raise Kundalini and it strikes the pineal gland to awaken or saw, because the Kundalini is offset. That's the Queen of Heaven. That's who you call the Black Madonna. And she's here to raise the child, which is called the Christ. Hence, i.e. Jesus, through the breath. The breath activates the Kundalini, and she comes up with the seed, which is implanted right here in the solar plexus in the land of Abraham. And Abraham means the father of many seeds. Every month, you have a seed that is laid right here in the solar plexus, which is called Chrism and Christ. And Kundalini is supposed to raise up and take the Chrism back up into the land of milk and honey. See, this is real science here. This is real science. You don't know how fantastic each and every one of us are. You don't know. every 28 days, just like the woman's cycle, she and the man both work off the moon principle, which is Tahuti. There's a seed that is laid right here in the solar plexus. And being that it's laid in the solar plexus, now you're dealing with Ra, or as we would call Ra, or Ra Kahuti. Of course, when Ra and Tahuti comes together, it becomes Ra Kahuti. All right? The Kundalini, which is Aset, remember, she's looking for the 14 pieces of Osiris, or Saw, right? Mm-hmm. Well, when the energy comes up the spinal cord, there's 7 chakras. When she comes back down, there's 7 chakras. 7 plus 7 is what? 14. So it's telling you, and also it's based on the moon. How many cycles, when the moon comes through that for those 28 days, it stays within each of its cycle, 2 days. So hence, 14. So Tahuti symbolizes the same principle. So Tahuti lays the seed into the manger, where Jesus was laid at when he was a baby, in the manger. All right? Then Aset comes looking for Asar through the mythology and finds the seed and takes this seed. Remember now, if you get the story, ancient Egyptians, Kemites, Sumerians, they show you that Aset transformed into a bird, the Ba. And she lit herself over top of the phallus, the penis, that Tahuti made for Asar, because remember, the catfish allegedly ate it. This is why the catfish is still called now the scavenger of the sea. You ain't supposed to eat no catfish according to Leviticus, the 11th chapter, right? That's what you're going to now. All right, this is, I'm telling you the science behind where the Jews get this from, where the Jewish people get this from. All right, so they also say, it could have been a crab or an alligator, which is symbolic to sit back. I get to sit back in a second. All right, because that actually is here rule. But anyway, the Kundalini or Set brings this seed up, which is symbolic to the seed that is laid by Tahuti, which symbolizes the seed which eventually can become Heru. And she brings it up. This is the Black Madonna child that we see in all of the mythology and the paintings and the statues and the statuettes around the world. She comes up through the 7 chakras called the 7 caves within the Kemetic teachings, and right at the pineal gland, which is shaped like the phallus of Heru, or as we would say, the phallus of Asar. She found it. She finally found it. But now she has to make it become engulfed with blood. The same way that the lower head, when we say, see, son, you think with your lower head and not your big head. Well, this is the lower head. Now you must raise the energy up from the lower head to engulf the big head. Upon the engulfing of the big head, now you receive descendants. And this is also the time when the pineal gland causes the Kundalini to come up out of it. And if you go to the book Nutricize, in the book of Nutricize, on page 15 of Layla Africa, he just happens to throw this up in the book. What? This is what he throws up in the book right here. He just throw this in the book haphazardly. Now, it got nothing to do with nothing in his book Nutricize, but you know what he's talking about is Nutricize, he's about the way that the Negro eat. Okay? But he just throws this picture up in here for no reason. But it is a reason, because later after is I believe that he's a Rosicrucian. Because we know for sure that Raul Nefer Amen is a Rosicrucian. Matter of fact, Raul Nefer Amen was not just a Rosicrucian, he was the head of the Anthroposophical Society of Rosicrucians. And this is how he was able to go forth and form what we now refer to as. Now, what does that look like to everybody? Looks like a spaceship, right? Looks like a spaceship, right?
Wow.
Yeah, in the clouds, right? This is in your brain. Let me read this to you. This is an actual photograph of inside the human brain. The cells of the brain are magnified to the equivalent size of a car. The electromagnetic galaxy-like cloud in the center is the eye of Heru, also called the eye of Osar, also called the eye of Christ, also called the eye of Buddha, also called the eye of Shiva, also called the eye of Uriel, which his Latin name is Lucifer. It is inside of the brain, is in a fluid-filled space called the third ventricle. The eye of Heru is alive and active and floats above the pineal gland and influences melanin and the spirit world unseen. This is the internal Nibiru that correlates to the external Sirius C. Now he ain't saying all of this. This is me straightening out the mythology. But the picture itself is taken from Nutricize from Dr. Layla's Africa. Now, understand what we just did here. Right? We showed you the brain, and hovering over top of the pineal gland is a galaxy, or what everybody here said looks like a spaceship. This is where the concept of Star Wars, of Star Trek comes from. Beam me up, Scotty. In this galaxy-like cloud is another galaxy. And upon bringing Kundalini up through the pineal gland, which is symbolic to, now the word pineal gland, the head of the penis is called the pineal gland. When a brother or sister get locked behind walls, the prison walls is called what? The penal system. So they put your black behind, your Moorish behind these white walls, which is like calcification. You're trapped. That's how they feel, because their pineal gland, 60 to 80% of pineal glands are calcified. So therefore, they feel trapped. In other words, earthbound. They blame you and I for that. Why? Because we made them that way. But we made them to be earth workers, not spiritual twerkers. Okay, that's what we made them be earth workers, not spiritual twerkers. And see, we twerk the spiritual realm. That's what we do. That's our job. Right? See, they started getting into stuff that they can't handle. You know what I'm saying? Because if they raise Kundalini to a Kaspa pineal gland, they spontaneous combust. But that's 3,000 degrees right here at the base of the spine, and as it comes up through the 7 chakras, 2 million degrees. 2 million. Now, you don't believe me? Get the book Kundalini by what's his name? His name is John White, but it's called Kundalini. Also did another book called Spontaneous Human Combustion by Jenny Reynolds. Jenny Randall. Get that book. Jenny Randall. All right? It's called Spontaneous Human Combustion. She says there's never been a reported case of a so-called black person ever spontaneous combustion. Never. However, she can't say that about Europeans. She said, if they raise Kundalini and that pineal gland calcifies, only thing left is ashes and feet. Everything else is its feet. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. Now, this is what's going on. So they do not like us. And these are the reasons why. Right? However, if they ate more of a natural diet, like what the goddess here provides, which has rich nutrients, you know what I'm saying? And leave all that damn rare meat alone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they like it raw. You know, they like O30B. O30B like it raw. They like it raw, right? Rare and raw, right? All right, so if they left that alone and went more towards a more colorful antioxidants and things like that, it will help with stoppage of the calcification. because this stuff started classifying by the age of 7. And this is the reason why, when we be children, you can all get along. People keep saying, "Well, see, we can get along with each other." Yeah, hell yeah, because you ain't got no customer pineal gland yet. You cool. But by 7, yeah, play over there, Bill. I'm going over there with Sequadra and you know what I'm saying? I'm going over here with them. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to stay over here, though. We can't get along like we used to. You know what I'm saying? Your vibration changing and things that happen. Get ready to go through puberty and you don't need to be around me when I'm trying to go through my changes. So, what happens is that when Kundalini finally hits the pineal gland and you develop that golden disc around your head, that is symbolic to the star on the Christmas tree. And it's called Christmas. Christmas. Krest, K-R-S-T, Krest, Mes, M-E-S. In ancient Egypt, Kemet to Mary, Mes, M-E-S, was short for Messiah, the anointed one. And in ancient Kemet, to become the anointed one, you had to get baptized with the fat of the crocodile, called Sebek. The fat of the crocodile. That's how you had to get, all right? And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. See, I had to go off the top of the head tonight because we don't have the set up so I can give a presentation, but best believe I still remember all the books where I got the information in it. See, this is Tahuti and Heru baptizing with the fat of the crocodile, making this individual the Messiah or a Messiah. This is on the walls, right? Right? Tahuti and Heru. Heru Kahuti. Heru Kahuti is baptizing with the fat of the crocodile. This is the individual who becomes anointed or appointed, right? This person becomes the Messiah. Like, this is the same thing about Jesus being baptized in the river Jordan by John the Baptist, right? That's what that was all symbolic to. And this is why it was in the water, because the crocodiles dwell at. Oh, there we go. There we go. You see how all these stories come out to mean the same thing, but they're trying to convey a science to you. The crocodile fat, you didn't say it again. That was Heru and Tahuti. So when they combine, they become Heru Kahuti, the baptizer, which becomes John the Baptist in the New Testament. But really, it's both of them who baptize. Right? Also, another name for them is Anu or Anpu. All right, which becomes John, all right, the baptizer once again. And you can get this in Jeremiah's lectures by Jeremiah. Okay, so Krest, Mes, Krest, well, we find out that K-R-S-T, Krest is the same word as Christ within Greek, which it comes from Christos, which we refer to as. What they did was took Krest and Mes, which is both ancient Egyptian words, and combined it to make Christmas. And then told you that the sun in its lowest point, which is December 21st through 24th, and then on those 3 days, 3 nights, and then on the 25th day, he resurrects again to rise back 9 months later, be born in the month of September, which is now Virgo, in order to become the Christ once again, or to be born again. It's talking about the sun However, the same thing plays out in your physical anatomy. With the Kundalini comes it up, which symbolizes the serpentine fire, comes up to the solar plexus. You get it? The solar plexus, the sun. And as she comes up here, she takes the seed, the sun, S-O-N, S-U-N, a portion back now into this region here. You see her now coming as the serpent, bold over top of the head. All right? Right here at the tiara. To awaken or saw. Right? So this is the same thing that happens with Muslims running around the Kaaba. Ka, spirit, ba, soul, within ancient Kemetic teachings. They run around the Kaaba 7 times, 7 chakras, and they run around it because the word chakra within Sanskrit or Vedic means will. So here they are running in the will fashion around the chakra, and then, or I should say around the Kaaba, and then once they get to the last rotation, the 7th point, they kiss the black stone, the Kaaba. The Kundalini, as she raises up, or Set raises up, she kisses the pineal gland, which is the throne. This is why she wears the throne in ancient Kemet, and the word Set means throne, and it's the throne that our soul sits on, symbolic to the soul being embedded inside of the pineal gland. And so when she kissed, just like the princess kissed the frog, remember the frog is green, and Heru was once, and Horus, or Saul was once what? Green. But now he became the Lord of the perfect black, the subconscious realm. So now she has to kiss him, just like Muslims got to kiss the black stone, the Kaaba, and now has to kiss him, right? So now Set kisses Saw and reawakens Saw, and through that marriage called the divine marriage in heaven, according to the Bible, all right, she produces Heru. Christ consciousness. This is where Christ consciousness comes in at. This is what my wife was talking about, that your crown chakra symbolizes Christ consciousness, because this is where Christ consciousness takes place at. It's right here in your crown. And now with the awakening of that pineal gland that you're seeing, what happens? That energy now beams up, just like beaming up Scotty into that galaxy-like cloud, which is called the Eye of Heru, where it hovers over top of the pineal gland. So now you have access to go to other dimensions, other realms, the density level. This is what they call out-of-body experiences. But you really are going inside out, not outside in. Going inside out. That is the Stargate that they kept showing you on the movie Stargate. That's the portal. Mm-hmm. That's the real Stargate or portal. Now, who remember Men in Black? I was watching it just the other night. All right, the night before last, I watched Men in Black Part 1. Remember, they had a cat called Orion. Orion, thank you. There you go. And you had a cat called Orion. And around Orion, she had a belt or necklace around the neck, which inside of that was what? A galaxy. Remember that? And they was concerned about, oh man, that galaxy isn't that something? Hold up. In ancient Kemetic teachings, the word for the physical body is called what? It's called Khat. K-H-A-T. Same as C-A-T. It's called Khat. The physical body is called the Khat. Look it up. Now that's deep. So, and a Khat has 9 lives. But guess what? You have 9 lives. You have your physical body, your ethereal body, your astral body, your mental body, your causal body, your spiritual body, your soul body, and you have your name body and your, which is called your ren, and your, what is called your shekel body, which is called your kundalini. These are the 9 bodies that you have right now and right here. So you are symbolic to the 9 lives of the cot. That's where they get that story from. You see how they encoded it? So now on the movie, they have the cat named Orion with the belt around the neck, in which it has the galaxy-like cloud inside of it, the same cloud that I just showed you. Coincidence? It's in your cot. And you have it around, around your neck. Around, that's your head, your Holy of Holies. The Holy of Holies is called your head. Okay, Mosaic law teaches you that there's the outer place or outer gate, the holy place, and the Holy of Holies. The outer gate symbolizes your genitals, the holy place symbolizes your heart, and the Holy of Holies is your head. Look, I'm telling you the highest secrets. Look. I have white boys writing me saying, look, I'm part of all these organizations, all these secret organizations and shit. You know just as much as I do, if not more. Ask my wife. This is an old dude. This dude like about 80 years old, and he wrote me saying, look, I don't know what you doing. I don't know what groups that you in, but look, you know just as much, if not more than I do. I'm 80 years old. And I've been head of the OTO, which is under Alice Crawley. He said I've been head of the Freemasons, and I've been head of the Rosicrucians. He said I've been head of all these organizations over my 80-some odd years, and you have just as much knowledge as I do, and you have my damn age. Well, I had to go and tell him the secret. I've been reading this stuff since I was 9. So you might not got started until you was 25. So I already caught up to you by the time you was, you see what I'm saying? But my mom encouraged this, even though she was a church going now. But see, my godmother, she was a prophetess. So she was able to prophesize. She said, boy, you're gonna be all right. She already knew. Right? So she just said, boy, you're gonna be all right. I ain't gonna worry about you. All right. All right. Any questions about anything that's going on? Now, hold up. Before we get to questions, let me just go back to the Orion. Remember, Orion had 3 stars in Orion's belt, in which that followed the North Star, well, followed the brightest star in sky, which is Sirius, right? Mm-hmm. All right, remember we told you that this pineal gland of activation symbolizes that star. The 3 wise men symbolizes the 3 glands in your brain, right? The pineal gland, the pituitary gland, and the hypothalamus gland. And there's also what's called the thalamus gland, right? All these symbolize. Now, what we find out is that the pineal gland, pituitary gland, and the hypothalamus gland aligns itself in the exact same alignment as the 3 stars in Orion's belt. And also as the 3 pyramids on the Giza Plateau, as well as also along with the 3 pyramids in China, along with the 3 pyramids in Mexico. And I can take a straight line or a line and come through all that from out of China into Egypt, into America, and show you the exact same alignment as the 3 stars in Orion's belt on 3 different continents.
How come you can't see the 3 stars like home but a certain time? You look out every time.
Yeah, well, you have the north hemisphere and you have the southern hemisphere, and it's only during certain times of the seasons that you can see. Most of the time you can see it though. Right. Right. Well, Sirius being the brightest star. Now the brightest object is Venus, and this is why it's the center of our flag here. That's Venus, 5-pointed star, symbolizing love, peace, freedom, and justice. But that's the reason why it is the center. All right, because that's Venus. That symbolizes love. That's why it's also the color green, because green is the color of love also, because it symbolizes the heart chakra. The heart chakra is green. The red background symbolizes the lower self, all right, as well as also the manufacturing of the blood, like I said earlier. Now, this also is a black border that goes around the 5-pointed star when it's actually overlaid. You don't want the interlace one. You want the one that's overlaid. So, and that symbolizes, that is black, which symbolizes, of course, melanin. So really, red, black, and green, the Moors have the exact same flag of Marcus Garvey as red, black, and green, you know what I'm saying, as the RBG. And they don't even understand that yet. It's the same colors. You know what I'm saying? It's just designed differently. But that star also symbolizes the awakening of that star inside your brain. This is why it's called the circle 7. Those 7 symbolizes the 7 activation of those 7 chakras, and the circle symbolizes the head. And those 4 passageways symbolizes north, south, east, and west, or the 4 gates. North gate, west gate, east gate, south gate, etc. Of course, when we put it together, NEWS, that's news. North, east, west, south. So when you talk about bringing news to the 4 corners of the earth, you're doing it basically by way of news. When you bring knowledge to the 4 corners, that's it. And of course, there's 4 angels that correlate to that. Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and Raphael. All right, the 4 Old Testament books. All right, that was allegedly written by Moses. We know that he didn't write his last book because unless he wrote about his own death. But the 4 books that they claim that he wrote was Genesis, Deuteronomy, Leviticus, and Numbers. Okay. Then of course you got the 4 New Testament. You got Luke, Mark, John, Matthew, which is all based on the 4 sons of Heru. All right, Heru has 4 sons. All of that is nothing more than, once again, the seasons, which is, of course, you have the equinox, you have spring equinox, you have the summer solstice, the winter, the autumn or fall equinox, and then, of course, the winter solstice. Symbolizes those 4. Then it also correlates to the 4 cardinal points of the zodiac, the 4 mutable points of the zodiac, and the 4 fixable points of the zodiac. Right? So all of that correlates once again. All right. Any questions about anything I've gone over? Yes.
I'm talking about the crocodile.
Right.
Why
So
did they use the
right. The fat of the crocodile was used because the crocodile to the ancient Egyptians was the most fierce animal, not the lion. Right. The lion came a little bit later, right, or around the same time, because you see that Jesus is from the loins of the Lion of Judah, which is through David. All right. But before the lion, which is nothing more than the father, Atum is a lion. And Sekhmet is the lioness. Right? So that's how you correlate that. That's how the lion is utilized. But in this case, that the reptile was used because the reptile symbolized the oldest animal on the planet. Right? The oldest animal is the reptile. Right? Before you become an amphibian, before you become a mammal, that was the reptile. So number one, they went back to the origin of life, or the oldest symbolic to that which still dwelled in the waters, which is called the waters of life, hence the crocodile. Right? And then the crocodile, with whatever goes towards it, it's snapping. Right? It's not playing with you. Right? So the Messiah had to be the same way. This is why in the Bible it tells you that Jesus came with a sword. So yeah, they try to tell you, oh no, you can't make it mild. You know what I'm saying? He came on meek and mild. That's the way, they try to make him a homorphic guy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they're trying to do. But really, the real science is that, no, he came with a sword. All right? And he came to, look, he wasn't playing. When he seen the money changers in the temple, he ran them up out of there. Right? So this dude wasn't play. He was a revolutionary. If you're going to use a story, use it right. Okay? So that's the reason why the crocodile fat was used. And plus, the crocodile is greenish, just like Osar. Just like in the book of in the Bible, Esther, was also green. Okay. Krishna originally was green before he was bluish, but he's also was black. Hence, just like Saw, the Lord of the perfect black. All right. Buddha was also black. Right. Muhammad is said to be black. So we keep getting the same scenarios over and over again, different stories, but they tell you who this information originated from and what it should mean to us as being melanated people. That's what they was really encoding. So if I'm using a picture, Dr. York was very good at this too. And this is one thing, I have to say about him, you know what I'm saying? Because I know all the negative, but the one thing I can say is that he put all the images back into our image and after our likeness. So therefore, if anybody come with any other nonsense, the image will always flash back to us. Now, he didn't decode this information like the way I'm doing for you all tonight, but he at least put that into your mind so that when you hear the information, you know that, nah, that don't sound right because it ain't about me, right? That's when you get selfish. You know what I'm saying? That's the time when you get selfish. You know what I'm saying? But that's the reason why the crocodile fat was used, because the crocodile was greenish, and plus it symbolized that there was no play. It's coming with the sword, it's going to bite you, it's going to rectify the situation, right? If you think about it, even on the scale of Mayat, next to Tahuti, as he's measuring on this heart against a feather, which is the scale of Mayat. So Mayat herself transformed into the scale. You have an animal here which has a crocodile head, which is called animate, which if your heart is not lighter than that feather, animals eat the heart. Okay? And that is symbolic to you having been reincarnated again. Because you didn't get it right. Because if you did, then your heart would be lighter than the feather. And you would be able to go on into the next life. Yes.
If I became fully educated in this information, like what is the benefit? Like if you reach the highest infinite
Knowledge of yourself. You can actually transform your body instead of going through death. You don't have to actually go through death. All right, death is something in which that happens because none of us get this shit right. But when you get it right, you can transform your body into what's called a rainbow body and actually become a light again, because 93% of your physical body is stardust material. This is why on the movie Lion King, Mufasa, who is Simba's father, when he died, he became a star in the sky. In all of the ancient Egyptian and all of the ancient African, Australian, Aborigines, and Native American traditions, we all speak about becoming stars. Why? Because quantum physicists just found out, they just realized this. Neil deGrasse Tyson just wrote a book on it, that we come from stars. So when they talk about Jesus died for your sins, no, stars died for your skin. Or you can have your skin. Because guess what? The calcium that you have in your bones was cooked up in stars millions of years ago. The carbon, you know what I'm saying? Because carbon actually is nothing more than condensed light. How do you know? Is because when you light something on fire, what does it turn into? Black. Carbon. You can take it, it's smut all over your fingers. That's carbon. So that means that you was burnt. This is why you call the children of the sun. You was burnt, that's why they say you was burnt by the sun. No, actually I was burnt before the sun. Because I was a sun or a star at one time. All right, and so quantum physicists have figured this out, that you're 93% stardust particles material. So you're supposed to transform your body. You're supposed to absorb enough energy to make it 100%, so that now you're no longer just 93%, but now 100% stardust material. And you do that through practice of, achieve.
Our dance was singing.
Right. Exactly. So through Qigong, through Tai Chi, through learning energy modalities, in other words, bringing more energy into your body, right? Because there's 3 centers that you can actually store energy. Your lower dantian, which is right in your navel, your mid dantian, which is in your heart, and your upper dantian, which is here near the third eye. These are the 3 areas that you can actually bring in energy. So if you want a longer life, bring in more energy here at your lower dantian, in your navel. Why? Because it was the umbilical cord that was connected here from your mother. So your mother, what happened? You was receiving nutrients in all your life in order to form your physical body from that, right? So if you want to extend your life, then that means you must put something back in there. Since this is no longer connected, since the umbilical cord is no longer connected. So you must store energy back into there in order to cause more of your prenatal energy, which is your life energy that you receive from your mother and father, combined so that now you can expand your life and now live for a longer time. If you want love, compassion, then you restore the energy at the heart. If you want a high IQ, intelligence, then you restore it at the third eye. This is what I was doing at 9 years old. I was storing energy here at the third eye. Didn't even know why. Didn't even understand the signs of what I was doing, but the ancestors knew what I was doing. And they was guiding me and telling me, oh no, we're going to use you later. So guess what? My mom told me, I was already seeing things. I was 5 and already seeing into other dimensions. All right, seeing people in other dimensions. So I already knew there was more to this plane than what was going on. At 9, I was seeing UFOs. Right. So what happened was that I told my mom when that happened to me at 9, I needed Time Life magazine books. And so my mom started ordering me the Time Life magazine books. So here I'm reading about masonry, quantum physics, esoteric information, all this information, not even knowing the ancestors had something, in store for me. So that would, end up doing the same thing. And then all of it started around the same time. Me, Bobby, Phil, Daoud, all of us, 1988 to 1992. During that 4-year span, something happened to this conscious community, and we started saying, okay, let's take this information to another direction. I moved down here in '94. I was with Bobby, you know what I'm saying? So, me and him talking all this information all day, you know what I'm saying, and everything. And then he was like, man, shit, man, there was more people like you, man. And he was talking about, he said, man, there was more people like me, man, shit, man, we got this thing in no time. And he was saying that because I was right there, and he was like, he knew the information, that I knew. And so he was like, basically telling me, you need to go and teach. And so it was right there on the Fulton County Library steps that I said, okay, Carl. That was 95. And so I've been finally teaching, you know what I'm saying? Now, I already was teaching, but I called myself coming down to Atlanta because, that was during time of Freaknik. And I was going to say, I was going to be incognito. I was not teaching any longer. I done hung up my own teaching shoes. So that was from 88 to 94. I said, I done did 6 years for y'all. I'm saying, hopefully that's enough. They was like, hell no. And so here I am, years, 20, what? Yeah, 24, 25 years basically later. Still teaching this information. You know what I'm saying? I was right here in Atlanta. This is why I was big at. You know what I'm saying? It was in the South. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what Bobby put me on in the circuit at, was right here. I was teaching down at cultural communications back in the days. With Sister Uma and Brother Iniola. Right? That was back in the day. I might not remember it, no. That's cultural communication. That was over Cascade Road back in the days. But I also taught at Soul Vegetarian Restaurant. Y'all do, now that's still open. Y'all do, y'all remember that though. And I also was a radio announcer, a disc jockey at WRFG. Right? I also was on the radio. I interviewed Phil, Deborah Blair, Bobby, everybody that came through even rappers, all right? Because I got trained in the radio with them there, like with sister Uma, all right? And so that was my little path, was right here. And then I went back up to North Carolina, still began teaching, you know, was teaching at Phillips State University. That was my old alma mater. Met my wife in '98, and we've been rolling ever since. And basically in 2003, I told Brother Shabazz, yeah, I lecture too. He's like, you lecture? All right, well, give me a DVD. I bring one next time I come out here. So he came up a few months later, handed him the tape. He took it. He's like, hold up, son. You say you teach, God damn. He said, I didn't know. I didn't know what I was going to expect, but I wasn't expecting this. You know, he was like, I said, well, I told you I teach. He's like, yeah, but I didn't know you was on, Bobby and Phil, I didn't know you, bro, you used to hang with Bobby. You can't help it. You know what I'm saying? We go in the stores, stick them up. Where your best books at? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. But then he put me on the New York circuit, and then that's what happened, and I got the information out there. You know what I'm saying? Because, as they say, you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, right? So, any other questions before we go? Yes.
Alligators, when they went into the pyramids, when they did the initiation, they had chambers.
Mm-hmm.
And they finally got to the top, they had to go into the top.
Right.
Then apparently the tree crossed them. Did that happen before that?
Right. That was the
before
same
that,
thing.
Before that or after that?
That was out.
After they go through all of that, then you can.
Right. That's when they received that. That's when they became the disciples. Because what you're talking about, the same thing that's talked about within Freemasonry, that you land at a horizontal level, but you must be raised to a vertical perpendicular level of 90 degrees. That's the same exact definition.
Is that literal with them being laid?
Right.
That was that
put it this
being lifted?
Yes, I explained it. As far to initiation, Dr. Ben and Ashwa Kwesi carries that on through the craft of the rock, and you have to lay down, and you are just like horizontal, but you must be raised to a perpendicular level, and so they raise you up, conscious, right? They raise you up, symbolic to that cross that you're talking about, right?
That's where they got that from.
Right, that's where they got that from, and this is why Christians still use it today, but it's been perverted because now it's a big penis and a little penis because of the Catholic Church. Okay, this is what they turned the cross into, right? Now for us, we talk about perpendicular, horizontal, vertical, and horizontal, and then also we talk about the 4 directions. To us it was part of astrology or astrotheology. You know what I'm saying? But to them, it's done been converted to a whole different thing. Just like you can see the Illuminati, they're using our signs and stuff like, for example, this right here, this is Anubis. But now this is the horns of Baphomet.
Yeah,
and this is the devil.
But I think they might be using it.
Yeah, that's what they are. They are. They definitely are. That's what
They are
I'm saying.
using it.
They have taken our symbology and have used it negatively. That's exactly what they've done.
And so the tetrahedron, the 6-pointed tetrahedron,
Mm-hmm.
is through meditation and through breathing.
Right, that is called the macabre.
Correct.
Or Merkaba,
Yeah.
which is the flaming chariot that Elijah was taken up on in the Old Testament, in the book of Kings. It says that Elijah was taken up on a flaming chariot. When you go to Hebrew, it's called Merkaba or macabre. Mm-hmm. And matter of fact, Credo Mutuar speaks about that. When we came, this is the 6th planet, right? We was on the 6th planet, which is the red planet, before we came to this planet, right? So that means that this is the 7th planet, which is symbolic to the planet of Asia, as I spoke about earlier, the realm of the making. So this is, but before that, we was on the red planet, which was the 6th planet, which is Mars. And this is why in the site of Cydonia, you'll find the face of Mars, as well as the pyramids there, because we built there too. We've been on all planets. Elijah Muhammad said that we've been on 7 planets in the solar system. But we originally came from the star constellation Sirius. And how we got to each planet was through our macabres. We was able to transform our bodies into light, like I was talking about
And you
earlier,
go to different
and
dimensions.
travel to different dimensions. So we didn't come, we was light vehicles. We didn't come on metal ships like the Europeans trying to portray.
Our body was the ship.
Our body was the ship, exactly. Activated by way of this pineal gland and this galaxy-like cloud that I was talking about earlier. That's inside of us, right? Right.
You know, that's
Yes, that's exactly the same thing with the picture. Because once you reach that level, which is the final level, remember in the movie with Bruce Leroy, The Last Dragon, it's only there, Leroy, that you will find the master. And what was he pointing at? Right here. It is only here, Leroy, that you will find the master. Here go Leroy, once again, doing just like everybody on planet Earth, thinking some literal shit. So here, he got a belt buckle, and he's going around asking everybody about, have you seen this belt that belongs to this master? Have you seen this belt? Have you seen this?
looking at fortune cookies.
Yeah, looking at fortune cookies, going to the fortune cookie place, and asking, and so the 3 dudes were like, yeah, we know the master, yeah, he wrote on the fortune cookie, yeah, come on with us. Then by the time, sure enough got at his behind. Kiss my converses. You know what I'm saying? Once he got there, he started getting that head dunk in that water. And then he remember what the master said. He remember what Vanity said. Vanity said, "Sure you like a master with me?" Yeah. On that 3rd dunk. And 3 is significant now. 3 symbolizes power of magic. On that 3rd dunk, it finally hit him. I am. And then all of a sudden, he started to glow. You get that glow. You get that glow. Get that glow. You get the power of what?
Elevation.
Elevation. Uh-oh, they just told you. They told you. So what was that glow color? It was golden. Living my life like it's golden. Yo, Scott! Right? That's how we all should be living life like it's golden. Because you want that gold sun disc around the head. Let me see if I got that. Man, I know I got it up in this one.
It's in the
Is
front.
that the same as the aura?
Yes. Even better than the aura, in a sense. Because your aura is normally about 3 feet outside of you, about the length of your arms. And if you're able to go into a circle like this around yourself, that would be about the average person's auric field, about 3 feet. Now, there's certain breath techniques that you can do in order to enhance it, as well as also expand it.
How about being able to see it?
Yes, you can see it. Mostly you can see it on a clear background. If there's a white background and a person stand up against the wall, you look right here at the hairline, and you begin to start seeing the aura around the person's body. That's the beginning stage. Right? So you don't need nothing special to do that. That's what's going to happen. All right? And so you said it was in the front. Okay. Can you see that joint? All right, so here is the joint right here. That's what the afro symbolizes, just like what you're wearing. Right here is that golden sun disc around the head. Right? That's the golden sun disc. Right? That's the glow right there. That's the glow that everybody should be getting right now. That's the glow. Right? That's the glow. Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be beautiful when you do. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of it.
How do you get to 1 breath a minute?
30 seconds in, 30 seconds out.
How do you do it?
Practice.
I'll show you.
Okay. So you can do this every day,
Yes.
3 times a day?
Yeah.
I
All
wanna get there.
right, here we go.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna do one breath a
Here we go.
minute, everybody.
Well, see, I told you, some of y'all gonna get hurt.
Oh,
But,
should we all stand up?
but,
Okay.
it's better that you sit down, just to
Okay.
get lightheaded.
Okay.
All right,
Can
so,
I ask you a question?
yes,
before you
go
start?
ahead.
Is it better to breathe through your mouth or your nose?
Through your nose. All through your nose. Now, when you want to release toxins, you breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth. When you're doing releasing the toxins. But when you're doing the one breath a minute, then you just breathe through your nose. All right, so just breathe. So you're gonna go with 30 seconds in, 30 seconds out. Out. Okay.
Wow.
So, yes. You don't have no blood pressure. High blood pressure? Yeah. But that's one breath a minute. I wouldn't recommend that. For those breath, I would recommend 3 breaths a minute. Okay? 3 breaths a minute. And what you would do, hold your arms up like that, or either you can go into a high region on a mound or mountain and do the same thing. Okay? That will help with the lung capacity. All right? Now, I was saying I recommend probably 10, so you just breathe in for 10. In. Out. In. Out. At 3 breaths a minute. All right, so that was better, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's why I told y'all, don't try to jump up to because guess what? You have to do that 72 minutes. And you was doing 1 breath a minute in order to reach subatomic level. Which means you will go back into the very essence of yourself, back into the core of the very stars in which that made you. And know their thoughts, because those are actually your last incarnations, your earliest incarnations. Okay? So that means that you not only will you go back into the memories of all of your ancestors, but you go back into the stars and the various planets in which that became part. All right? Yeah, just get deep. And you will have to breathe 72 minutes. That's a minute, and that's an hour and 12 minutes. Okay? But to lower the blood pressure, this is the simplest one. 6-3-6-3. Breathe in for 6, hold it for 3, breathe out for 6, hold it for 3. So. And you just repeat that 100 times. So, or 99 times, 99 more times. So 100 times, that would be about 15 to 20 minutes. And that will actually bring your blood pressure down about 40 points. Oh, it's too low. All right, so in order to bring up your blood pressure, you're gonna have to do the hyperventilating breath. Of course, you have to do the fire breath. All Right? So the fire breath is like this. You can do about 20 to 50 of those, and that will raise your blood pressure. If you want to relax, then you do 4, 7, 8. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 7. Breathe out for 8. Four, 7, 8. You want to do the relaxing breath. But for the rapid or fire breath, you have to do it like that. You also, in order to synergize both hemispheres of the brain, you do the alternate, or what's called anoma viloma, which is alternate nostril breath technique. Is you do the ratio can be starting out as 2, 8, 4. You breathe in for 2, hold it for 8, breathe out for a count of 4. Then you can graduate and go to 4, 16, 8. Breathe in for 4, hold it for 16, breathe out for 8. All right? And you go back and forth with each nostril as you're doing it. So let's say, then you go to the other side. Okay. So not only do it clear the passages, because each nostril is connected to your 2 serpents or 2 snakes, which is basically called your sacral nerves. These are the 2 nerves that is not inside of your spinal nerve. They are outside of your spinal nerve, and they just happen to crisscross each other as they're going up towards the nostrils, which is symbolic to the caduceus symbol that you see on the medical hospitals around the world, and particularly in this country. So on the caduceus, you see the 2 snakes coming up in a crisscross pattern, and then along that staff is your spinal column, the backbone of Osiris, called the Djid. In Star Wars, they call it the Jedi. Yeah. And why the Jedi has the staff, the saber staff, because the various colors symbolizes the chakras. Right? So that staff is now, there's 2 snakes come up, and then as it comes up towards the ball on top, which is symbolic to the pineal gland, and then the wings come flourishing out, which is symbolic to the activation of the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. So that technique that we just did symbolizes that expansion of the wings, Right? So it's all in the ancient information. Yes.
Is there a study group here in the Atlanta area of new materials?
Like you want to say?
Well, some people from Atlanta may want to initiate that.
Okay. Sounds good. Somebody let's get the phone numbers and everything rolling then. We can get that going. Definitely.
So make sure we get a card, okay?
Yes.
And we'll give y'all one.
Right. That question?
What kind of technique could I help my child do that would free some ants?
How old is he?
He's 6.
No.
Huh?
No, let him play.
Well, also, you can stop doing a high fruit test.
His favorite book is The 42 Laws.
Okay.
Meditation.
Right. So that means he can. So since that's his favorite book, then he can go into meditation. The 4, 7, 8 breath technique, or what we just talked about, is the relaxation technique. That would help him out a whole lot. Also, if you know Reiki, there's a symbol which is called Hansha Shishonin. And this within Reiki, there's 4 symbols. You have Choku Rei, Seihei Ki, Hansha Shishonin, and Dekomeyo. These are Japanese words. But Choku Rei, is what is called a power symbol, right? Senheki is the emotional, mental symbol. Hashishonen is the distant healing symbol. And Dekomeo is the spiritual symbol, right? You can actually draw the symbols at the back of the head. That also will help them. So study Reiki, R-E-I-K-I. Right? And it's Ushi Reiki in particular because he's the one who discovered back in 1922. It was called Makeo Ushi. Makeo Ushi. M-I-K-A-O. Makeo Ushi. U-S-U-I. Reiki.
What's the breath count for the as long as blood pressure again? You said 636?
Yeah, 3636. Well, yeah, 636. Yeah, 6363. You breathe in for 6, you hold it for 3, you breathe out for 6, you hold it for 3. You also can do 7171. Breathe in for 7, hold it for 1, breathe out for 7, hold it for 1. Right? And there's also what's called empty retention. These are the 3 breaths, but it's taught to us within what's called pranic healing. Pranic healing. 3 breath technique in pranic healing. Empty retention is simply just breathing in, any count, hold it for 1 second, breathe out, any count, hold it for 1 second. So there's no real rhythm, necessarily based on any number that you have to do it. But as long as you hold it for a second and breathe out. Breathe in, hold it for a second, breathe out. All right, so those are the signs. That's called pranic healing. Those three breaths are talking in pranic healing. 6363, 7171, and empty retention. If you do either one of these 3 within 15 to 20 minutes, it will expand your auric field from 3 feet, which is like this, to more than 15 feet outside. Some masters have mastered it to the point of where their aura is actually stretching out.
You said in 6, is it hold?
Right, you
3?
breathe in 6, you hold it for 3, breathe out for 6, hold it for 3. And you do that 100 times a day. Just the 100 times a day. Okay.
You got some events coming up in North Carolina?
Yeah, yep, sure do. Here's our event right here for those that want. September the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Right?
Where you say North Carolina?
This is near Durham. We're right outside of Durham. We're right outside of Durham.
About $78 from here.
6.
Guys, will you take one and give her one? Thank you.
You got something coming up in Asheville also?
Yeah, we have something coming up in Asheville, which is the weekend after this event, which is the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and then that next weekend we have in Asheville, North Carolina, we have
28th,
the 28th, 29th, and 30th. And that one is also we're teaching the information. These are two retreat. So this is our retreat, and then we working with a sister in conjunction with her retreat, which is the following weekend.
Yeah. Secrets kept in nature. Breathe.
Yeah, the books, yes. The Divine Hymns of Akhenaten, is 40, and the First World Order, because y'all here, normally it's $100, but it's $65. Yeah, you can get it autographed and everything. Yes, it's time. Yes, we are finished. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed the information and got something from it. Oh, get
Yeah.
Well, we'll be here. We'll be here for a couple of days.
Yeah,
We're gonna come back.
Okay.
And I know y'all tired. Y'all done had a full day.
Yeah.
When you run a restaurant, y'all be busy.
Oh, yeah.
They go out of town.
We just came back from, we just lectured the other day up in Sasha Loans, which is up in, she's in Washitaw, she's up in Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay.
And we just lectured there the night before last.
Okay.
On raw
Raw.
vegan, uncooked.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
everything, yeah. Yeah.
And you got a pen?
Pictures?
I'll just get you, talking.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
They 40 dollars.
No.
This one's 65, but online it's 100.
You said it's 55?
I saw. Alim, this is the last one?
Yeah. But, okay, please get the website. It's on flyer.
Or if you prepay for them, then we'll mail them to you.
Right. You can also
We
mail
are
them.
good at that.
Right. You can also mail it.
Yeah.
No problem.
I know we're great at that.
I grabbed that one though. That's me.
Yeah, that's yours, guy. You got the last one.
Pretty much everything you talked about is in that book.
Right.
Huh?
Everything you talked about today is in that book.
Yeah.
Right.
And also too on the DVDs and that's a meditation piece. I mean meditation pieces because it's kind of heavier. And then also everyday
But you see what I was talking about, that you probably 60 views.
How much is this one?
That's 40 guys.
Can I get 35?
you can get it. Look, you done gave so much. I see that's why I love giving to my people because you're not.
So if we can't make the equinox retreat, really have a bunch of soldiers retreat as well.
We just moved into a space that is a 5,000 square foot space, and we want to go back to having 6 to 8 conferences a year.
Now, the one that's after
This one ain't,
now we're gonna have another weekend. Okay, you gonna post on your website
Yeah.
so I can see it. Okay. And also, I need to talk about, so if you guys want to go ahead and get out from this
Okay, you want to call you next
I'm more, yes. So I need to know what I need to
So
do.
text me guys and I'll send you the link for
Okay,
that.
okay, take you, you're on here. I'm
Yeah,
Queen.
that number right there.
Okay, okay, so I'll text you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, and you're gonna get me started. Okay.
Okay.
But how much money do I do all this?
Guys, you
About?
can
Okay,
so that also includes the phone.
okay, and then do I need to go to the, don't I gotta go to New York and now it's fine?
What you do is documents notarized.
Yeah.
And I also send directions, but also two documents on the public record.
Yes, and as far as my job, they say I can still work, but I gotta fill out that tax form so they won't take out the tax.
That's correct.
And you gonna,
We'll show you.
okay, so 360 is what I need? Okay, I got it.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Thanks, God.
But anything else, you probably.
That's the spot. Yeah.
Even though
I can't remember the name. Oh, you know it's in Brooklyn.
Google.
I'm sorry we don't have enough books, y'all. We've been in 2 lectures. So. Okay.
Supposed to be on.
Thank you.
Wrap did the wraps? Are you there?
Thank you, guys.
I know that I'm even here for like 6 because
Okay.
I was about to I'm just getting thankful. I'm just looking at your wife.
You got his brother, they own this land up there in the Turtletown. I think it's Turtletown. It's right where Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, right where they meet. Yeah. Got about like 80 acres up there.
Wow.
And they have crystal stones and stuff up there.
Yeah, it's in the ground.
Yeah. You just go pick them up.
That's how we know what you're talking about. We're out in Houston area, North Carolina.
Okay, is that near? That's near Durham?
You familiar with North Carolina?
No, I mean just local. I've been to Asheville before. I've been to that area, Georgetown, up there.
And see, when you go to those types of places, it's so beautiful. It's very, you know.
Yeah,
Fresh air.
I've been to Charlotte.
Yeah. Charlotte's about 3 hours.
You ever have Dr. Richard Gibson?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's down the street from us.
He said he's down from you?
Yeah, he's down the street from us.
He's in High Point, right?
Yeah.
You need a
About an
bill?
hour and a half away. I need you to put in your location. I'm going to see if it's a single or a DVD. Single or better. Okay, it's 15.
I'm trying to see if you know about 107, one of my best friends. The area where all that electric. Robert and Richard Smith.
The whole actual, just the one line?
Whichever one is connected to this building.
We'll just put it all in that one line.
Yeah, it's got no time left.
I'm gonna put you, you can spell out and then, CD is what?
Snellville.
Snellville?
Yes. SNELL Bill.
And that's Georgia?
Yes.
And then the zip code?
30039.
I got what's your email address?
ANNU_RA@Yahoo. Sorry. ANNU_RA777 at Yahoo.com.
You using that now?
Yeah, that's also good. Oh no.
Thank you. Bringing that for it.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, because we had a lecture in South Carolina.
Okay.
No, you get them.
I have to admit,
Go ahead.
this gentleman right here.
But
I'm just so enlightened. I just told him that. I fell asleep, man. We got to listen to this. And he goes, put it in there. I'm like,
just let it sink in, right?
I just want to watch Love and Hip Hop.
no, that's not me though. I'm a little bit more about that.
Okay.
Definitely. Shut up, I'm not even into the TV that much. You know, not that much. But I might just want to listen to some music.
We good?
And I don't want to hear everything all the time, you know, but he had 2 years with him, and little things creep in, but I just remember listening in one sitting down and listening to y'all school. I have no sense of what was loud. That was very informative, and it wasn't coming from a place and I don't have to understand it. They answered some questions from my part. And I was like, they ain't really adding up. It's hard to keep trying to keep going in that direction. It's not adding up. And you gave me a whole lot more understanding of the directions of books. I'm reading more and appreciate it.
yes, I was calling in like 4 or 5 years ago on Blog Talk.
Right.
Well, I have called it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Queen, if you get an opportunity, you get in this one too. It's got
Okay.
How long did it take to get the other one?
As a matter of
Once we
fact,
get home.
so by Thursday.
Yes.
You can order right now.
Go ahead and put it on.
Okay.
We go for you.
So, I can bend down some, because look at the cameras.
Here we go. Say, hotel. One more time.
Yeah.
Is it flash?
No, we didn't see that one.
Okay.
His
Man,
flash,
turn the
his
flash
flash,
on.
I say his flash all over the place.
I got you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
We
will order books.
Guys, put your address right
Absolutely.
here. Is your address connected to your credit card?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Right there.
See? We already in tune, you know what I'm saying? That's my dog angel right there. I've been telling that for what, about 7 years?
Okay. You made a mistake. Let's see. Because we can't do that.
Consciousness.
Working out.
I know, right? We got to be strong. I got some stuff now. Don't try to
Do that fifth one more time. Bring in more to this. Right. Okay. Hold it.
When your birthday, guys?
April 27, 1992.
Oh,
That's been my the wrong name on there.
Oh, that's the wrong name, guys?
It should be Nard.
Oh, no, it's supposed to be. Okay, and that's city, that's Georgia.
Oh, that's reset already. It's like-
Start free. That's what. Put it in that room.
That's right, we got Georgia.
I've been working on my melody. I've been in the talking
Peace, y'all. We just visiting and enjoying each other. Sure would have loved to make this. I know we would have loved you to be there too. To see. Yeah, peace and love, Anthony. Thank you so much for your super chat. We love you. We appreciate you so much. Somebody said, you love that book. I know that's right. Loaded with information.
Yeah, I've done that too.
You got it. Okay, and you want to put your number there too, just in case I need to call you. Yeah, that's your phone. The guy he just moved it over. Oh, I tried to save you some.
So,
Could you know that?
looks
great.
Oh, no.
What'd you say?
You're honest.
You said that. Okay.
so
So you should get an email too, guys. Okay.
You got material?
Of the one. Okay. And on Thursday, and I'm also send you a tracking number too.
Oh,
Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
that love.